what is next for Kirk Cousins? That is the poll question that I led in with my eloquent, so beautiful lead into the show that Michael Penix has now replaced Kirk Cousins. What is next for Kirk Cousins is my question to you. They paid the guy. They said, this is your team. Go to Atlanta. Milk and magnesia in Atlanta. All this shit's going on. And what do you do now, man? This is what I've been saying for years. Pay these guys all you want, but you don't need to pay them. If you're playing rookies already, Smitty, and I'm answering for Smitty here. If you paying rookies out already and playing them at all-time high, we're playing more rookies on bad teams than we have in a long, long time. Why are we paying guys absorbent amounts of money like Kirk Cousins, like guys that just are over the top, Aaron Rodgers, these guys, because of what they did or what they do? Not because what they do, Smitty. Dak Prescott, Kirk Cousins, these guys, Deshaun Watson, they're not even available, and you're paying them and you're losing. I can see if Cleveland was 9-0 when he got hurt. No, they were abysmal and he was horrific. You can pay less to a guy like Jameis Winston, build a roster around him, and just be mediocre. If you're gonna, I'd rather be mediocre than horrible. But anyway, what do we do next with Kirk Cousins, Smith?
Yeah, but I got to respond to that, and then I'll answer the question. I mean, the thing is, GMs and teams don't know that their quarterback is going to be bad after they pay him. Like, they didn't know that Kirk Cousins was going to end up being this Kirk Cousins, because if you remember at the beginning of the season, the Atlanta Falcons was rolling. They were 6-3. Kirk Cousins was ranked top 4 in both passing yards and passing touchdowns during those first 9 games. And then after that, all hell broke loose. You know, they went on a 4-game losing stretch in which he threw 8 interceptions and no touchdowns. I think he was the first time this has happened in a 4-game span since Brett Favre did it in 2005. He broke that, streak, so to speak, on Monday night, threw 1 touchdown, but added another pick. He leads the lead right now, I think, with 16 interceptions across the NFL. So I think at this point, Coach Morse is like, hey, I mean, we gave Kirk a chance. He tried defending him. Even I saw something like he made like a little joke towards Dan Orlovsky at the halftime during the game, saying, hey, Kirk Cousins threw a touchdown. I'm glad he did, so he could shut up Dan Orlovsky. You know what I'm saying? So he tried to defend his quarterback. I don't think he wanted to make this move this early. But at the end of the day, I mean, the team morale is probably going down. You see, the offense can't score. Yeah, they beat the Raiders, but they beat them 15-9. That's one of the worst teams, if not the worst team in the league, and you barely won that game. So I think you have to make a move just for the locker room, for just the fan base, and to see like what you got. You know what I'm saying? Michael Penix Jr. is a top pick that you got this year. We saw him in a glimpse in the preseason earlier this year, show some flashes and kind of see what he's capable of and what he can do. And now he's been kind of sitting down, watching, learning for damn near a full season in essence, right? Now he comes in kind of how like Lamar Jackson did his rookie year, came in late, and now you're hoping that he can be like that spark that can get Atlanta Falcons rolling on these last few games and see if they got a chance to try to make a playoff run. I know right now the Bucs look good. I think the Bucs is leading that NFC South division, but I think the Falcons still are in the mix. They have a small percentage chance of going in there and possibly winning the division and trying to get a spot in the playoffs. It's slim, but it's like, hey, let's see what we got, man. So Kirk Cousins, man, he's a guy that I've supported. I still like Kirk Cousins, but it's like at this point, what you're going to get. He's gonna have some extremely high highs and get you excited and make you believe. He's gonna have some really low lows, and typically those lows happen on the biggest stages and the biggest moments. So, what's next for him? I mean, he signed a 4-year, $180 million contract with over, I think, $100 million in guarantees. But he does have a tradable contract, meaning that 62.5 of that has already been pretty much paid this year. So basically got paid $62.5 million for 14 games. So next year he's only on the books as far as guarantees for $27.5 million. So that's a very tradable contract in today's era. So I do think that we've seen the last of Kirk Cousins in an Atlanta Falcons uniform, and it sucks because I know that before the season, I know he would. You would have asked him, he probably wanted to retire a Falcon. His family, his in-law, I think is from Atlanta or from Georgia, if I'm not mistaken. I know his wife is from there. She got family out there, big Falcons fans. He probably wanted to retire a Atlanta Falcon. But I think the writing's on the wall. I mean, Raheem Morris' statement literally said that that, Michael Penix Jr. is going to be the starter moving forward was the term he used. So when I hear moving forward, I'm thinking long term, this is it. This is our guy. So I think it's a wrap for Kirk.
It's a wrap, and he's just got there.
Crazy.
So, first of all, here's the issue. What has he done? What has he actually done? He's done nothing. He hasn't won big-time playoff game. He hasn't been some sort of big-time ball spinner that we're always dependent upon, and he flashes us with oohs and ahs. He's over-the-hill 40-year-old who's coming off a major injury, and we expected him to be different than this. That is the problem I have. That is the GM, coach, administration in the upper echelon of these NFL franchises who continue to bundle quarterback salaries together and expect them to fucking be good. They're not. Dak Prescott, Kirk Cousins, Deshaun Watson. We've seen him over and over and over and over fail miserably. What did we really expect from a 40-year-old with coming off an Achilles tear, dog? Look, I've never been a Kirk Cousins guy. I said that him and Dak are the same guy to me. They're the same guy to me. Both overpaid and under-deliverers. Both. Exact same guy. Overpaid, under-deliverers. I would have never paid this guy the money.
I think Dak's a hair better, but yeah, they're pretty much in the same bubble.
Yeah, I wouldn't have paid this guy to go to Atlanta. Not right now. To me, you got all this offensive weaponry, and if you look at the Atlanta Falcons versus the Raiders game the other day, the Raiders had zero talent on offense. The Atlanta Falcons have a shit ton. Bijan. They got a tight end in Pitts that you haven't really become. It hasn't become a staple tight end for your organization because you can't get him the ball for some reason. Drake London, big, tall, long, fast, physical wide receiver who's just basically kind of been mid because he can't get the football. All these weapons, and you've done this? You're struggling with a Raiders team with no quarterback to score 15 points the other day? Other than your 2 Bucs wins and a close loss to Kansas City, you've done nothing. Kirk Cousins has done nothing in Minnesota. He got beat by Daniel Jones. I don't see this guy being somebody that I would pay. I'm just telling you, I would never have paid him that money. I won't pay him that money. And again, we're going to see some franchise take him and basically do what they did to Justin Fields. A Chico stick and string tease will take him and not have to pay him because the old team will pay for him to come play on my team. And that is the new trend, in my opinion. That is what people are doing now to recover for their bad mistakes with quarterback signings. I'm telling you, I've seen it for a couple years. This is what they're now trying to do. Take these guys that the old team will pay for on their mistake.
Like Russell Wilson,
cheap. We'll take them for free, and we'll try it out. It's a recyclable business, man.
Where do you think Kirk Cousins will go? Just top of the head, just as of obviously the draft's coming up, so much we don't know, but just where things are right now, just what's your prediction if he does get traded this offseason? What team or teams comes to mind? Because I'm trying to think out loud. I'm I know the Giants and Raiders are going to be top of the draft. They're going to get some young guys, probably, Shador, Cam Ward. So I don't see him going there because they're going to start those young guys immediately. Panthers and Bryce Young started looking kind of solid the last few games. So I don't know if he goes there. I know my coach with AR5, he's up and down, but overall has not looked good. But we've already tried going with the old veteran with Phillip Rivers and Matt Ryan and Gardner Minshew. So I don't see them trying to go get a Kirk Cousins. I don't think that makes sense. I'm just trying to think out loud. I don't know. Where does he go? The
Raiders scream to the top for me. The Raiders would be number one, but I don't know if he'd be the starter of the Raiders. I'm just saying I think the Raiders make the most sense in getting a veteran in there. They have to get a quarterback, and then they have to have some sort of wily veteran on the roster. Kirk Cousins' days are numbered as a starter in this league. I just don't see him.
Tennessee, maybe? The Titans, maybe?
Nah, I maybe, but they're just too young. The old stiff white pocket guy has just become a rarity now. And this is an old stiff white pocket guy with a stiff ass Achilles tear. Mm-hmm. So you add that. Look at what Aaron Rodgers has done. Aaron Rodgers is the greatest ball spinner and blah, blah, blah. Look what he's looked like this year. The injuries are not recoverable. They're not recovering from these big injuries, dog. Not at 41, 40. Not these guys. I don't know, man. He don't care though. Money's guaranteed. It's in the bank.
Hey, Kirk know how to get paid though. Kirk always get paid. I think I don't have the list, but
his agent.
I'm pretty sure he's like a top 10 all timer in terms of money, NFL salary money, because he always gets a big his agent.
I can see him in a place like Frisco. I can see him in a place like Frisco because it makes sense. If they keep Kyle Shanahan, that makes sense. West Coast offense. Don't require the QB to do too much other than boot and waggle. He can do that probably, but I don't even still. He's not going to do what Purdy does. Purdy's a much better athlete and younger, but he can at least get on the edge, throw some half-naked stuff. I don't know. He's a pocket guy, presence in the locker room. I can see that's a scenario. What happens? I don't know. It's crazy, but what happens in Minnesota if you need to sign another veteran quarterback to back up J.J. McCarthy, if that's truly the way that the Vikings go and ship Sam Darnold?